So I spent over $5,000 on marketing training, sales training, and chasing new ways to figure things out before I built the one thing that made it all work. 5 grand isn't a lot compared to what most people burn, but I made it past year one when most businesses don't. And I ran a lean operation. I've got a partnership that matters. I took the long road before I built the foundations that should have come first. And if you've been spending on campaigns, on tools, on people who were supposed to have the answers, and your online presence feels like it's half built, then this video is for you. So welcome back, or if you're new here, I'm JP, the owner of J. Williams Designs. We're a small agency, but we made it past our first year, where most businesses don't survive. We spent over 5 grand experimenting and learning what nobody tells you about marketing and sales, and we built a system that actually works. No big team, no big budget, and no pretending we had it all figured out from the start. On this channel, we cover local SEO, web design, and how to build a lead generation engine that doesn't need reinventing every week. So here's the thing that nobody says out loud about your online presence. Most business owners aren't skipping it because they don't know it matters. They're skipping it somewhere in the back of their head, just like I was, because deep down, they're scared. Scared that if they don't put it all out there, someone's going to look at it and poke holes, ask questions that they can't answer, and find the gaps. I know that feeling. I lived in it longer than I want to admit. And I've talked to enough business owners at this point to know I wasn't the only one. The half-built website, the Google business profile that's almost been done for 6 months, the social media presence that only gets updated when somebody has a good idea. That's not laziness, it's avoidance. And avoidance is usually fear wearing a to-do list. So that's the real reason most people never fully create their online presence. And that's what this video is actually about. So let's pull up the first graphic. So here's what my detour looked like. I was doing cold calling. I paid for cold calling. I ran it myself. I eventually got it working. With cold email, it was the same story. I had paid for leads. I scraped leads. I bought access to a database, to multiple databases. I joined networking groups. I did all of it, but I wasn't able to receive the conversations properly because I hadn't built the foundation needed to fully have them. So here's the thing. The person who picks up your cold call looks you up. The person who gets your email clicks through. The referral from the networking event Googles you before they call back. And if what they find doesn't match the confidence of whoever reached out, you probably lost the sale before the conversation started. So if you've been on a channel and you started seeing some movement and it's not the results you actually expected, but it's something, and then you jump to the next one thinking that's where your expectations would finally be met, you need to stop. The channel that already creaked and budged for you is the one to go deeper on, not wider. There's no channel where results come as fast and easy as we're hoping. And the businesses that win pick one lane and go deep enough that results become inevitable. So spinning new wheels when your old ones already started moving is exactly how you stay stuck. Now, I want to jump over to this graphic because it really helps to showcase the 3 layers that I have the most struggle with. And so the bottom is your Google business profile and your website. It's non-negotiable, and if it's incomplete or inaccurate, it's probably compromised. And so the middle is consistency. Your name, your address, and your phone number showing up in the same way everywhere Google can find it. Boring work, most people skip, but Google doesn't skip it. And so the top layer is proof. Your reviews, your content, social signals, and your pictures. Real pictures of you, of your staff, and a warm and welcoming face that owns the business. Telling Google and your potential prospects that there is an active, credible operation behind this listing. And I'll be honest about this one because I've been there. For a while, I wasn't proud of how I looked in person, so I used AI photography instead. What I found out the hard way was that the conversations I should have been having weren't happening. People thought I was an internet troll or a scam, and I probably was getting overlooked more than I'll ever know. So I reached out to a photographer here in San Francisco, Anthropos Photos, and he took me around the city near the Moscone Center. Business settings exactly like I asked for. He crushed it. Now I've got professional photos I can use across the internet. And when I paired that with ChatGPT's image tool for flyer designs and social content, I had something really usable. And so one caveat on the AI side, it's garbage in, garbage out. And if you don't have a general sense of what looks credible versus what looks cheap, AI makes that worse before it makes it better. And so the real photo foundation has to come first. Here's the version that finally clicked for me. Imagine a car where the tires are a little low on air pressure, the shocks aren't quite right, the water pump works about 90% of the time, and there's something going on with the head gasket. If you take it on a 100-mile drive and something breaks, which part failed? You don't know, because you never fixed any of them. And that's what running campaigns without a foundation looks like. Too many variables, and when it doesn't convert online, you can't diagnose it. And so adding another tool or another campaign is never going to be the solution. And so the car gets harder to fix the more that you add to it. I'm guilty of this too. And the 2 examples are from my own personal detour. When I was cold calling, I started working from a spreadsheet, no CRM. And so there was no call recording, no power dialer, no script. Every time I came back to it, it felt like nails on a chalkboard. And not because cold calling doesn't work. Cold calling definitely works. It was because I hadn't built the foundation for those conversations to go consistently at that volume. I was grinding gears that weren't set up to run that way. And cold email was very similar. I had bought lead lists. I ran them through a mail merge plugin from Google, which sent a couple hundred emails a day with like no real follow-up sequence. I'd go back and follow up and lose track of where those people were in my sequencing. And so then I got a deliverability platform that didn't really tie in replies. And so I finally landed on a system where I can load thousands of contacts, run full automated follow-up sequences across multiple email addresses, and then set up a human handoff rule so that the right conversations actually made it to me. So that's the system that works. And those versions never would have. Not because cold emailing doesn't work, it's because I wasn't operating at the system level it required. So Tony Robbins puts this really well. He said he had to learn business so that he can do the art he felt called to do. And that's what I'm trying to hand you here. The business layer that frees you to do more of what you actually built for, with more people at better prices and less time stuck grinding gears on how to find them. So if you tried a marketing channel and you called it dead, try to ask a different question first. Was the system actually set up? Was the volume there? Did you get enough reps to develop a real feel for it? Because the gap between this doesn't work and I didn't build this out properly is where most businesses stay stuck. And so if you go deeper before you go wider, the benefits will be extreme. Build the foundations first. Then when something doesn't work, you actually know what to look at. So this week, I want you to do one thing. Pull up your Google Business profile, go through every section, all of your categories, your services, your photos, your reviews, and your posts. Find the first thing that's incomplete and fix that one thing. You don't have to do everything, just that one thing. That's how you start building with your online presence in a way that will actually work. One layer at a time until the foundation is solid enough to build on. I want to put something out there to whoever's watching this. I'm not necessarily looking for a partnership, but if you're experienced in specifically cannabis events, this next part is for you. I'm building a few things right now, and one of them is something I'm genuinely hella excited to talk about on this channel. It's cannabisloungeca.com. And so I built the back end. I know what it takes to build and operate something like this, but my true expertise is behind a screen. And what I'm looking for is the other half. The one thing that I really need is a closer. Someone who understands the cannabis space, knows how to get into rooms and start the right conversations, and can sell a solution that genuinely makes an event operator's life easier. You don't need to be an event planner. You need to understand how events work well enough to speak the language and close the deal. If that's you, I'm definitely not looking for a pitch deck, just a copy to see if it makes sense. So here's the real pain that we're solving. Cannabis lounges want to fill seats and to move more product, but when they're running an event, there's a mess of RSVP lists, finding talent, sending reminders, and tracking who actually showed up. Has always been manual and painful, so I built a system that handles all of that. We automated follow-ups, the RSVP tracking, and one-click exports for your email lists so you can upload them to your email platform of choice. We think it has real potential. We're just looking for the right person in the field to find out. Check out cannabisloungeca.com to get a feel for what we're building, and if it resonates, shoot an email over to partners@jwilliamsdesigns.com. So, like I said at the top of this video, this is the start of something a little different on this channel, and I meant that. I've been holding back a lot of the real versions of what I've learned, like the numbers, the experiments, the pain, and what I spent, and what actually worked. And that changes from now on. You can expect a lot around the money lost and failed attempts it took to get here. So hopefully it will help you jump over the pitfalls that I've been able to climb out of and mark for you. So if you're building something, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to sign up for our newsletter that is new on our website. I'm leaving the link in the description below. If this landed, drop a comment. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what to cover next. For where we're going, your feedback is going to be the fuel. All right, that's all I got to report for now.